Transcorp Hilton, a city head of state in Nigeria, sold it to himself and his friends, this hotel. But I can assure you, at the right time, the Nigerian people will collect their assets from those who have cornered them. In September last year, NEITI, a government agency, disclosed to Nigerians that a few oil and gas companies are owing Nigeria by way of royalties and taxes $6.17 billion and 64 billion naira. Nobody has denied the figures. If that money was collected, the federal government will have taken no less than $3.5 billion going by the revenue allocation formula. But what has happened? I think 2 months later, the president went to the National Assembly and got the fiat of those gentlemen and ladies to take a loan of $2.1 billion to fund the 2025 budget. Nobody is collecting our money, but the president is taking a loan, mortgaging the future of Nigeria and even Nigerians yet unborn. The ladies may also interest you. A few oil companies, we call them the IOCs, are owing. I have read the tax reform bills, and I want to say without any fear of contradiction that the efforts are merely scratching the surface. We're not addressing serious taxation in our country. And I do hope you can take up some of the issues I'm going to raise. Number one, in this building, somebody said he wanted to set up a presidential library. By the way, it can only be a military presidential library because libraries by former presidents are usually set up by elected presidents. So not a dictator. It will be the first time in the history of the world that a military dictator is setting up a presidential library. So we must qualify it so that people can be able to distinguish between the real libraries and pretensions. I must say that they gathered here last week, and within a few minutes, not less than 17 billion was raised. Who died? Because this is where we must address taxation. How did those guys come about such colossal sums of money in their possession? They belong to us. It's our money. And what it is, and one of them was honest to say, all of us here were made by this man. And what he was saying was that General Babangida used the gun to take oil and gas resources of the Niger Delta and distributed oil blocks to his friends. Those were the people who were distributing. I mean, we are announcing those figures without doing anything. You take the oil block, you go and talk to people outside the country, call it offshore, without contributing anything. They will take the license from you, the paper, and make you instantly a multi-billionaire. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Somebody has used a gun to take your property. He has now given it to his friend, robbing Peter to pay Paul. Secondly, and this goes beyond oil block, gold and other solid minerals are also being distributed, even now. Those are areas we have to address. Can the system continue to enrich a few people at the expense of the others? Those are areas we must address when you are talking of taxation. Again, you take your gun, you seize all the public enterprises of the government, and you distribute them to your friend, either at giveaway prices or outright gifts. They call it privatization. It has just been reported in the House of Reps, an inquiry is going on, that the Allied steel industry in Delta State, valued at $700 million, was sold for $30 million. That's about 3 or 4 years ago. Where we are hosted, this building. To spend the night here, now, I think it's not less than $500,000. It's one of the best investments in Africa, not just in Nigeria. Transcorp Hilton, a city head of state in Nigeria, sold it to himself and his friends, this hotel. But I can assure you, at the right time, the Nigerian people will collect their assets from those who have cornered them.